Hello, everyone, and welcome to another awesome session of IndieX 2021. We have yet another great game and a different game from everything else you've seen since Monday. It's a pleasure to introduce to everyone watching Adam Robertzoli, which is one of the developers of Samurai Gun 2, the sequel of a game that I was telling Adam I bought the first game on Steam Christmas sale 2013, so I would like to consider myself an early adopter of Samurai Gun. So, Adam, welcome to IndieX 2021. Congratulations on having Samurai Gun 2 selected to our showcase. And
Thank you.
how are you?
I'm doing well. Yeah, thanks so much for having me on to stream the game. We're super excited to be a part of IndieX, and always fun to play the game on a stream where people can see it, maybe for the first time.
And possibly just clean the floor with your opponent's face.
Well, I don't know. You said you played the first one for about a decade, so you're the old school samurai gun gamer. We'll see.
Let's see, let's see. But it's always different while playing with the developer. I just recall, I think it was last year, that Japanese tournament of Nintendo Arms, where like the champion was
Yeah.
like, yeah, he kicked everyone's butt, and then suddenly the Japanese lead programmer said, "Can I play with you?" And he went like flawless against the champion, and it's such a moment.
Yeah,
Um,
that's definitely not the case with our game. We were joking around because we know we've been playing it all through development, and we're
yeah.
thinking, man, it's going to be wild when our audience is finally good enough to beat us. And we thought it would take a while. And the day the game came out, people were beating us online, so it didn't take long.
So, how many people are developing Samurai Gun 2? Did you increase the team from the first game?
Yes, so let's see. The first game was just Bo Blythe, our director. He made the first game with Dose One. So Dose One's our musician and does all of the sound design, all the sound effects. They made the first game, just the two of them. Bo doing all the art, programming, game design. Then that came out in 2013. Bo was pretty young when that came out. So after that, he went and made Hyperlight Drifter with the Hyperlight Drifter team with Heart Machine.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, made a small game called Tormentor X Punisher, and then we teamed up to do Samurai Gun 2. And this has been in development for a few years, and it's still in early access, so there's still a lot to come. Now our team's much larger. We have, let's see, how many? One, two, three, four, seven main developers. Uh, Art director, character artist, netcode programmer, full like graphics programmer. So the team is much larger. And you can probably see even from, I don't know if the game's on the stream yet, but production value is much higher than the first game. And it's much bigger. We kind of joke around that this is Samurai Gun 3 of how much is in this game.
I don't know if you have a second monitor or something. If you can watch, if you want to watch I'm going to repeat the questions between rounds. So
Okay.
uh, we already have Shiryu GL, our. Shiryu, I always introduce you like our friend from Nintendo Life, and I'm going to do so. And I know he will eventually ask during the next 50 minutes. So when is Samurai Gun 2 going to be released on Switch? So I'm
Oh
going
yeah.
to beat him to the curb and just ask it before he does, because he has a he already has this question on a notepad. So he just copy paste like, when is this game getting released on Switch?
Yeah, that's the popular question. So we're planning right now, it's still in early access. As soon as the game hits 1.0, that's when we'll be coming to Switch. So the game's
Cool.
not done yet. Our adventure mode is about a quarter of the way done. We're adding new characters about every month or two. Um, the comic's still in development, or not, still being written and drawn. So the game is much larger. The plan for the game is much larger than what exists now. So, we're estimating about a year or so until we hit 1.0, and then we'll come out and Switch with a enormous, deep game with tons of characters.
Are you developing the game full time, or are you
Mhm.
working on? Yeah, you are.
Yeah, full time.
Yeah, and I think the best thing is to dive into Samurai Gun 2, because it's a really fun game, a really challenging game to master.
Let's do
And
it.
people can check exactly what you were saying. The production value jumped a few notches, to say the least, from the first game to the second one, which is a good thing. Was the first game a success in terms of what you expected to for the game?
The first game was, I mean, the first game, especially for a solo developer, Bo and Dos, and for when it came out, I will say the first game was hampered. There was no net play, although you can do it now with remote play together. There was no
Yeah.
net play, and it only ever came out in PC. So it's kind of this couch co-op game on PC only, which I think the sales would have been a lot higher if it were on console or if there was net code. Which is why for this game, we're targeting consoles after we get to 1.0, and we have a full time programmer doing all of our net code.
Remote play helped a lot in this kinds of game, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And you can do remote play together with this also if your friend
Oh
doesn't have
yeah,
a copy of the game.
I'm going to ask, because it looks like a good selling point for indie games, doesn't it?
Hmm.
I've been checking it with people that like to play different games during the week with their group of friends, and I've been checking some people buying games in turns. Like, okay, so I'm gonna buy this one, we're gonna play together. And originally, I thought you would be losing sales with the remote play together, but I don't think so.
No, no, I mean the big struggle is just letting people know your game exists. I think
Yeah,
that for every indie developer,
yeah,
that it's not that people won't like your game or they won't buy your game, it's just they won't ever hear about it. So that's the number one foe to defeat as an indie game developer.
Adam, I will add another. So what am I doing? I just noticed that I wasn't. Sorry.
Oh, it's not capturing the gameplay.
No,
OBS time.
yeah, I need a production team next year. Please, Santa, give me a production team next year. Next year will be physical, also with streaming. We will return to our 55K visitors if the pandemic allows us to.
Hey, there we go.
And
We're
I
back.
I hope so. And actually, the other day I was speaking with another developer, and you're saying that gaining attention is one of the difficulties for indie games. I would add another thing, which is time. When you look at
Mm.
services like Xbox Game Pass or Apple Arcade or PlayStation Now, or yeah, I won't put Nintendo Switch Online on the mix because, yeah, let's be real, that, that's not
Yeah.
competing with anyone's time. Um, but that's not the problem with people knowing your game or buying it. It's having the time to actually want to invest it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's dive into first. Now everyone can see the step up that Samurai Gun 2 got from yeah. Visually, it looks awesome. It's not only visually that the game looks awesome. You'll just check in a few moments why we loved Samurai Gun 2 so much. We needed to have it as one of our 50 finalists. Let's embarrass myself, Adam.
Let's do it.
Hello, Samurai Gun 2. Hello, Sheena Light. Hello, everyone on our chat. Please ask some questions whenever you want. I will try to do it between victories, I mean.
So you can see we have our samurai up top here, and one of the big new changes we have is we have our friends characters. These are crossover characters from our friends games.
Yeah.
So this is minute from minute. Um,
Did you play the
and
second game? The
yeah, it's super fun.
Yeah.
What is it called? Funtime Racer, Minute Funtime Racer or something. It's really
Yeah.
good.
The concept was so strange. I was like, this shouldn't work, and it works really, really well.
Who should I be? I'm gonna be Pops. So Pops has exploding bullets,
Yeah.
and I can toss you around. And for some reason, I'm actually allowed. I can do that here on this character select screen.
You can?
Yeah. Well, once I have bullets. So the big new change in this game, one of the big new
Sorry.
changes. Oh, no worries. Is you can dash. Dashing uses a bullet, but it allows you to dash through swords. That's the button to change your weapon, which you can unlock new weapons in adventure mode. There's like a cleaver and a spear and a knife. But right now, just the sword for us. We also have a bunch of cool new. You can show it off in some of these levels. We have some new cloth physics. We have new lighting. Our graphics programmer Evan has just been going wild in this game, adding all kinds of nicely polished. Oh, straight to the minute stage.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man, we had such. You know what? I'm gonna turn off my. I'm not gonna watch the stream because we had such a fast connection last time and it slowed down. I think it's probably me
Yeah, yeah,
trying to
yeah, yeah,
watch
yeah,
the
yeah.
stream and be connected.
Yeah, yeah. It wasn't my skill, it was lag, I know.
Oh, nice. Showing off how you can deflect bullets. Yeah, so the game's running at about half speed right now just because our connection, we're pumping a lot through this bandwidth. Um,
Ah,
but still very playable.
are you having lag issues?
No, no, no. I mean, it's just running slightly slower than normal. You know what? This game is such a fast game
Yeah.
that when it runs slow, it just runs at the speed that other games run at. So it's not a problem. So your character's cool abilities are that instead of shooting bullets, he shoots out kunai, and then he can pick them back up
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or keep reshooting. But I can also pick them up and get ammo from them. Your character can also stick to walls into the ceiling, and he has a fast fall. So if you press jump and down while you're in the air, you'll fall down really fast, and you can use that to kind of mix up and surprise your opponents.
Something really awesome about Samurai Gun 2, obviously. It's the. I think for someone who doesn't know the series, they will just think everything is just like you chose pops because it's a visual choice on your turn. But no, the mechanics are different, and the way you should play it is pretty different. Ah, well done.
I didn't get you on the ricochet, but it's still fun.
Yeah. So good. I was saying, every character plays differently, so you. And yeah,
Yeah, so
there's
Pops
a
has
lot of
exploding bullets, he falls fast, and he has that dash move where you can throw their characters.
complexity in terms of mechanics, so everyone plays differently, which is what might be surprising for some folks who thinks this is simple just because it's not only a pixel game, it's a great pixel game.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I will. That's something that it's kind of a little bit of a paradox for some people. Our director Bo, his big thing is simple and deep, so he tries to make all of his games really simple but have a ton of depth of play. So, the idea it's like, well, you have a sword and a gun, you can deflect bullets, and it's this kind of 2D game, really really simple. Anyone can jump in, a great party game, but and then we have some people in our community on our Discord server who are so good at this game, and the complexity comes a lot more from anticipation, a lot from movement, how you're able to move your character.
Yeah.
Not so much, like a traditional fighting game with, memorizing combos or things like that. So it has that depth, but in a different way.
Yeah, it's not who's watching this is not a mash the button kind of game because everything is in cooldown. You have to be really strategic and have good reflexes what you are going to do.
That area
I
of effect
forgot the
got you.
hitbox. I forgot the hitbox. I really forgot the hitbox.
So this is fun. This cloth in the background, you can actually slash it with your sword and cut it. Let me see here.
Oh yeah, I just noticed that.
Yeah.
Okay, let me pick up my kunai. No, you're close by. I don't want to do that.
Oh, there you go.
I was on cooldown. my...
Excuse my spawn killing.
No, don't worry.
Ooh.
Who's your favorite character?
This is unfair. I think Pops is probably my best character. I shouldn't have picked him.
Who's your favorite character?
Favorite? I think I like Slug the best. Slug has so many options. The character you're playing,
Yeah.
tons of options. So many options. Sometimes it can be a little overwhelming. But so let me ask you. I'm not sure how much you played the first game, but did you and your friends get into? You notice how I'm kind of using my sword while I'm jumping constantly. So that is a technique. We call it sword jumping. And basically the way it works is your sword gives you momentum whenever you slash it. So what you can do is you can combine that with your jump. So if you hold up, and then right after jumping, if you slash your sword, you can jump really high. So my normal jump, I only go this high. But if I do my sword slash with it, I can jump way higher. And it's kind of like that's the beginning of high-level play with Samurai Gun. So yeah, slash your sword a little bit sooner. Hold up, and then jump, and immediately use your sword right after jumping. and then make sure you're holding down the jump button. Don't let go of the jump button. There you
Oh,
go.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So that you can do
Nice.
that. Yeah, so that's how I'm jumping super high, and you can do it off wall jumps. See how I'm doing it off the wall. You can do it. Slug can even do it when he's hanging upside down on things. And so that is really how once you kind of master that, Samurai Gun becomes almost a different game. You're able to do so many cool things because the game is so much about movement and air control. And I think it's nice because if you have a bunch of people playing who don't know how to do that, you're all on the same foot. But as soon as some people in your crew
Oh,
start learning how to sword jump, yeah, everything opens up. And that was in the first game as well. Um, but it's just kind of a hidden secret technique.
I didn't know that when I played the first one. I played it like, yeah, I have this jump and oh,
Yeah, it really makes opens up a whole new world.
yeah, yeah, it's immediate.
See, now you know. Now you have the secret techniques.
Yeah, I was enlightened.
There you go. Some of the other stuff you can do is you can combine your different attacks. So if you hit if you shoot a bullet and then hit it with your sword, it'll turn it into a wobble bullet, which makes it go slower. So it goes at half speed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then if you dash and shoot a bullet at the same time, you'll do a super bullet, which goes at twice speed.
Well, if I dash, okay,
Yeah, if you dash and shoot a bullet at the same time. Whoops.
this.
Here I'll show you. So my normal one, you saw how slow it'll
Yeah,
turn
yeah.
blue. So a super bullet
Oh,
like
like a
that.
Hadouken.
Yep.
No
And those,
no copyright infringement here.
yeah, here I'll show you. Those will blast through destructible terrain too, like this bamboo. This is, I feel like, the quintessential samurai gun level because other games don't allow you to carve through the level like this. So a normal bullet just will, just hit and then
Yeah.
kind of be done. But a super bullet will keep going through the bamboo,
Oof.
which is really good with pops because it also explodes.
Yeah.
Um, but the cool thing with your character is when since you have the kunai to stick in the walls, if you do that attack, your kunai will stick in the wall, and if you pick it up, you'll get both bullets back. You'll get the bullet back for your dash, and you'll get the bullet back for your kunai. So you can kind of do super bullets over and over and over again. Oh, here, let me. There you go. Now you can do it.
Okay. So there's a wall. Let me check.
Yeah. So dash and then shoot. So kind of LR really fast. There you go. Now you can
Oh,
pick that back up, and you'll get both
okay,
back,
okay,
and you can
okay,
do it
okay.
again. Another cool thing with that is because you can dash diagonally, you can shoot the bullets diagonally. So if you go like up left diagonal for me, and I do dash shoot,
Oof.
you can shoot the bullets diagonally.
Okay, vertically too, of course. I was trying to do it diagonally and I missed.
Yeah. It's there you can actually do it in lots of not just straight diagonals, depending on because you can dash sideways and shoot up, and there's actually all these like 32 angles you can do it at. It's really wild. It's a great way to catch people off guard though, especially on this map. And then see, since I can hit your kunai on the ground, I can
Yeah,
send it over that way
you
too.
recharge yours. Yeah. You're already on early access, aren't you?
Yes,
Some.
so this game's been on early access since June, I believe, the end of June. We've added one new character. We've added a bunch of new versus levels. We have the second level of adventures coming out soon. It's in beta right now. And we're going to be adding a new friends character before the end of the year.
Okay. So what's
But I
the?
can't say who that is yet. It's still secret who the next friends character is going to be.
I would say it's someone from a Hyperlight Drifter.
We definitely want to put the Drifter in since Poe worked on that game.
Yeah, I was just cheating on my guess. So it's another. Yeah, the inclusion of Minute is actually it was actually a good thing.
Yeah, JW, who's the one of the game designers in that team, he's just one of our favorite game developers. So he also made Nuclear Throne, Luftrausers, Super Crate Box. Actually, the first Samurai Gun had two Super Crate Box characters in it. So Minute was a no-brainer. We want to include more of his characters in the game
Yeah.
too. New characters from Nuclear Throne. The thing now is that in the first game it was easy because the characters all played the same. But in this, here, I'm gonna grab a new character. In this one, I'm gonna actually grab Minute. Everyone plays differently, so adding a new character in is, a lot more work. Have you tried playing with Anna from Spelunky yet?
Yeah.
She's got bombs.
Yeah, yeah.
bombs and rope, and then she's got the jetpack. She can hang on ledges. She can crawl.
I believe it must be really fun to get ideas for these characters because, as you said, it's not just creating a generic character and putting a pixel art skin on top of it.
Yeah, I think making characters is Bo's favorite thing. He wishes he could just make characters all day.
So, are you hinting at a possibility of DLCs for Samurai Gun 2 or expansions?
I don't know. I mean, we're just planning on just keep adding as many characters as we can. I mean, we've committed to all of the samurai from the first game, plus we added one new faction, so I think that's like 18 samurai. And right now there's hmm, 7 or 8 in the game. So we haven't even we're not even at half of the samurai that'll be in the game. And then, we don't know how many friends characters we're gonna do, but I think we already have agreements for like 3 or 4 more. I mean, we just want to keep adding. I mean, our hope is that we can just keep adding to this game kind of forever. Like, just keep adding new characters and just, you know, make it really fun.
We have Trilobot saying special characters in Samurai Gun 2 are pretty unique. Fun is the priority.
Yeah. Trilobot's a great community member for Samurai Gun. He's been playing since the first game, playing it a lot. And yeah, so the friends characters, it's all about fun, really about. So you see, I'm flashing right now. So true to the game, Minute can only survive for 60 seconds, and then after 60 seconds he'll die. And if you haven't played Minute, he picks up a cursed sword, and that's the whole point of the game is that
Yeah.
you have to beat the game in 60-second spurts.
I'm going to.
He's got instead of having bullets, he can throw this, or they can throw the sword Minute.
Shit, what are you asking? Dante from Devil May Cry. I don't think that's fair. That's right.
I would love to get. We got to talk to Capcom. I want all the Capcom characters in this game.
Yeah. If I could
They're a little
choose,
harder than the indie developers to get a hold of.
Mega Man is my favorite character of all time, but if I could suggest, I would go with the Phoenix Wright from Ace Attorney.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
His bullet might be objections.
See, with a Mega Man character, you would have to make it that every time you defeated somebody, you equipped their ability.
Yeah, that would be so great. And this, my friends, it's called brainstorming live.
I know. I got to be careful. So these are, especially as producer, I just come up with ideas. I don't actually implement them, and that nothing I say will probably make it in the game. I'm just like the players. I just like to come up with fun ideas.
Oh, we have two comments. The first one is from Man Down. He's saying, not even Capcom manages to have their characters in their games. Yeah, right.
That's right.
And Seixas is suggesting the penitent one from Blasphemous.
Oh yeah, that could be fun.
Yeah, Mokas is saying Phoenix Wright wouldn't deflect; he would object projectiles.
That's right.
So, and what about the community of Samurai Gun 2? Are they how big is it? How
Yeah, we have a really active Discord.
Yeah.
We link to it on our Twitter. Our Twitter's just Samurai Gun 2, I believe, or maybe it's Samurai Gun. Yeah, our Discord's super active. They're running like tournaments on the weekends.
Cool.
There's like a matchmaking role if you're trying to find someone to play with because nobody's on at that time. You can just ping it and people will show up and play you in matchmaking. People are finding because so you can do one-on-one matchmaking in the game, but also you can form parties. Like right now, you and I are in a party, just the two of us. But you can add up to 4 players and you can play. You can play through anything. So I mean, we can even show them. So we're playing versus, but we can just jump out and we can go straight into adventure mode, and then that's co-op. So versus is definitely the meat of this game. It is like a versus fighting game. But we added this whole single player story mode in that you can play in co-op. So if you're playing with people at your house, you can obviously do it locally with up to 4 players, or we can just play here. You can do it, over the internet co-op. And so you can see maybe some of the inspiration of it's kind of like a mix of Hyper Light Drifter and Samurai Gun here. So we have this kind of overworld we go through, and then all the levels are inside these statues.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
these
yeah.
statues come up. we break them, and then there's a level inside. So, first level, just teaching you how the game works. There's only one enemy here.
The
Piece
instant
of
kills
cake.
are so rewarding, especially when the game gets more difficult. But did
Yeah.
you feel
Oh,
that
yeah.
the
And
adventure game was like the community required it, or you think it can expand to a new
yeah, we wanted
buyer
to give
base?
something. We definitely wanted to give something in the game for people who just were not going to play. They didn't have any friends they wanted to play with, and maybe they're intimidated by online matchmaking. We wanted to give them something meaty to play. And also, I think it's a little bit of a training mode. It's kind of one thing we noticed is when you're playing with friends, it feels really good to dominate. It feels really good to be the best player, just getting tons of kills. Um, but maybe in your group of friends, you're not the best player, so you never get to have that feeling. Well, you can have that in venture mode. You can just jump into a level and then just completely tear it up and feel awesome, and to learn how the game works, so that
How long are you
when you
planning adventure mode to be?
so this is just the first world. I think there's about like 17 to 20 levels in this first world. This first world's kind of the bamboo forest. So there'll be four worlds. The second world is the cemetery, which is in beta right now. So if you join our Discord, you can actually play the second world in beta right now.
Oh,
Um, then we have a snow world, a fortress, a burning fortress, and then final boss. So it's about 100 levels. When we were early in development, we have actually all the levels are technically done, like all the collision and everything, and the enemies are made, but only the first two worlds have final art. But when we just played through the adventure mode early on, it's about, depending on how good you are, maybe 2 hours of content to just roll credits, but then there's all these things you can get to stack the difficulty. So there's curses you can get that make the game a lot harder, and you can get all the curses. They do things like make the enemies more aggressive, or one of the curses. I'm trying to think what the curse in the second world is. There's this like ghost that appears and chases you around the levels, trying to kill you the whole time. So I would say maybe a couple hours to roll credits, and then if you're trying to do all the super hard stuff, way longer.
we just got a suggestion, which is a character who's a pistol wearing an ancient Japanese sword, and he would be called Samurai Gun with a single N. Yeah, I was going to. It's fun to have you here as a finalist because when I played the first one, do you know what I felt in terms? I felt in terms of control of the character.
Uh-huh.
It reminded me
Yeah.
of the Legend of Kage from the NES.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I know the jumps aren't as ridiculous as in
Right.
the Legend of Kage, but it really reminded me of the animations reminded me of Legend of Kage. I believe the
Uh-huh.
Nintendo buffs might be recognizing it, recognizing the game
Oh,
in the
yeah.
chat because yeah, it's a really old game. But I played it a lot when I was a kid, and when I played this for the first time, like the sword animation, it was really similar.
Mm.
I was curious if you know if this was one of uh,
Hmm.
the elements that inspired the
Whoops.
original game.
I don't. I've never heard Bo mention that as an inspiration. But I mean, he definitely has a love of action games. Loves arcade games. One of the things is he wants all of his games. You can have fun with them immediately. He
Yeah,
doesn't want you to have to do a tutorial or wait too long in the game to power up. That you can just that arcade experience of as soon as the game starts, you can start having fun. Which I think is a part of the fact that enemies can kill you in one hit and you can kill opponents in one hit. I think one of the nice things about that is it makes it more beginner friendly because let's say a game like Smash Brothers, which we love, but if you're playing against someone who's really good, it doesn't matter how many hits you get them, you're probably not going to juggle them off the screen.
yeah.
Whereas, you only need to get one good hit in this game to get a kill. So the feedback's immediate, and you kind of know immediately, oh, I did something good, I got a kill. And we've noticed when you play in a group, even someone who's new, or even someone who doesn't play games that often, pretty early into the game, if you play a couple matches, they might win. They might win one of the rounds.
So this is the level we get introduced to bullets.
Yes.
It is really beautiful. I think it has a good taste, especially when I played the adventure mode when you submitted the game.
Hmm.
I was really surprised of getting into this old aesthetic of almost 2 bits. In terms of the scenery is 2 bits, and
Right, right. The overworld map just has those, just a few
it
colors.
looks so good in comparison with the
Ah, thank
characters,
you.
which are really well animated. Of course,
We're
I know
definitely
this
leaning
isn't.
on a lot of, and it's a hard thing when you have an indie game, a small team, and you're trying to make these big games. How do you make enough content? Whereas, I mean, there's only so many hours in a day.
Yeah.
So we're relying a lot on our, uh, I think our team is just like best of the best, and they have a great understanding of the fundamentals of good design and animation. Um, so with that overworld map, just trying to really rely on strong forms, but keeping the color count low because that's just what takes so much time. you know, you got it, you got it. Nice. Oh, so this is cool. We haven't seen this yet. When you get out now, because you beat the random encounter, you'll get a can of gunpowder, and you
Yeah.
can drink that. And then for the next level, it gives you kind of this super powered sword where you can spam it as fast as you want,
Okay.
and then there's no cooldown on your sword right now. So you'll see it also looks different. Yeah, you can just go wild with it. And so that ties into the comic. There's a whole all this lore of gunpowder is kind of this drug that people drink and smoke, and it gives them energy, and it gives them kind of like super powered energy. But if they drink too much of it, they turn into these monsters. And so that's your character getting a little taste of it.
Yeah.
Got him. We're just gonna
I'm
run
working
through.
on Twitch. Have you been watching some streams of Samurai Gun? Getting some
Yeah, it's
hits.
been interesting. It's been interesting figuring out what levels. This level we're in right now gives everyone a really hard time. We did not realize how hard this level was going to be when we designed it. Um, because it's a timed level of like you need to stay alive long enough. Um, there's actually a trick that we didn't realize when we made it. You can just lay down and the bullets will fly over your head. So these guys actually can't hit you if you lay down on the ground. Because that's one of the techniques in the game is that you can lay down or lie down to avoid bullets.
Oh, that's
So it's like right now, I don't actually have to attack these guys. You can just kind of avoid them. Although I think we're going to be tweaking it that when you have the curse and these guys become super aggressive, that this won't work. They'll have a got me.
what the
We still
hitbox
beat it
will
though.
be bigger, so that
I
you
think
can't
what we're
just.
probably going to do is that if they get close to you, they'll stab you. They'll have like a knife that they use when they
Yeah.
get close. Okay,
Oh,
let's
I
not do
just
this again.
no. It wasn't masochism. It was just I just mishit the button. But it's cool to find those solutions you weren't expecting from your own game. Did you
Yeah, it was
find it
great.
on
Somebody
the?
was streaming the game and they're like, "See, now they put this in intentionally." And I was like, "Oh, we didn't, but that's smart."
But thank you.
Like I'm gonna do that from now on. Thank you. But I mean that's what's fun about early access. I mean, some stuff you just can't know until you see people playing your game.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
think that was one of them of like, realizing how difficult some of the levels were for players, especially if they don't know some of the techniques of sword jumping and things like that.
Which I now know. See.
Yeah, so now you're a pro.
Yeah, I know how to sword jump. Come beat me at Samurai Gun. Not you. No, it wasn't for you because you will beat me.
So we ran straight through to the end of the first. We actually didn't play all the levels. There's some hidden routes and there's level. Or I can actually show there's weapons we can unlock and there's curses we can find. There we go. We got
So
them. A
this was
showdown to
the
end it. End
Akira
World One.
Kurosawa level. That's good.
But so this will take you into World Two, which I said is in the beta. If you grab the beta, you can play it. But in this version, it just kicks you back out.
Okay.
But there's also, I think, if we go down here, there's a new type of enemy that we haven't seen yet because they're only in the hidden routes. This one's not too hidden, but there are goo ninjas. So those guys we're fighting are Tengu. These ones are totally different, just full of goo. And these ones are all archers. So they shoot bows at us, or should they shoot arrows at us? Whoa!
We have Man Down asking if you were a character in the game, what what would be your skill set?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh. Updating the budget until everyone gets so bored they quit. That's my special ability.
That's a cool ability. I don't know if for everyone, but yeah, sounds good.
Did you fight this guy when you were playing through? This is our little mini
No,
boss here.
I didn't
So you
fight it.
only oh got me. So you can deflect those blades
Yeah,
back
yeah,
at
yeah.
him. Or we can just it's actually a lot easier when you have multiple characters because we can just like go ham on our bullets to take down his shield here. Oh, he got me. Nice.
2 hits.
Well,
Oh yeah, master of sword jumping. Uh,
you got it.
can you can you add AI on versus mode?
No, so in the versus mode, if you're playing by yourself, here's the weapon unlock. Um, you'll go straight into matchmaking. So if you just go into versus mode and it's just you, after you pick your character, it'll send you into online matchmaking. Nice.
You're
So that's the
comp-
spear.
okay.
So you can press the Y and you can switch between sword or spear. So your main weapon changes.
Yeah, yeah.
The
But
spear gives you a big boost in the direction you're slashing. It's kind of like minutes a weapon, and it stays out longer, so it's really easy to deflect bullets with
sorry,
the spear.
I was just checking.
And actually, now that we have that, you can in versus mode, it's unlocked, so you can pick it in versus mode as well.
Manda, I believe when it leaves early access in version 1.0, they are starting
Hmm.
to develop for Switch. And what are the other planned platforms, if there are any?
I mean, so far we've only committed to Switch. Obviously, we'd love to have it everywhere, but it depends on the resources that we have available to us at that time. So we're committed to making it happen on Switch. Uh,
Yeah.
for other platforms, we'll just have to wait and see. So
I
if
was
you,
just,
I think you probably have your spear right now since you had it selected.
I was
Uh,
just asking this the AI because there's unfortunately something that we've been feeling with the multiplayer focused indie games. They
mhm.
completely rely on community or people,
Yeah, yeah,
and that's always an Achilles heel for most of the games. So
yeah. We had AI in the first game, but we were basically at one point where like we're either going to have AI or we're going to have an adventure mode. Um, since the adventure mode has the AI of all the different opponents and stuff, and we decided let's go with the adventure mode because then we get to do cool stuff like story stuff with unlocks and kind of create more of a world for Samurai Gun. Um, I mean, it's one of those things we would love to have AI in Versus 2, but at the end of the day, we can only do so much. We are,
yeah,
we're a very small team. We don't actually have a publisher. Like we have a company. Like our publisher is just us. We don't have funding or anything. So we have to make sure that what we're delivering is as high quality as possible and not overextend ourselves.
yeah. In
Um,
terms of scope,
yeah,
you're
yeah,
limiting yourselves, and that's a realistic approach. So your potential buyer base are, for example, um, Smash Brothers, Smash
yeah.
Brothers kind of players.
Smash Brothers. I think some other games on Steam that are similar. Stick Fight, Rivals of Aether. Um, I do think this game appeals to people who want a fun party game with a group of people, but it also has a ton of depth as a one-on-one fighter.
Yeah,
So I think, but those really are two different audiences. People that want kind of like a fun party game versus a serious fighting game. Um, but I do think we do that well. The game is very different playing with four players than just with one-on-one.
I haven't tried it, but I will eventually try it with a team. Actually, uh, I just noticed this is the perks of also being a small team developing an indie festival as a hobby, which we actually could have arranged for people for some of the guys from IndieX to be playing with us,
Oh yeah,
especially with remote play. We just could ask to join us.
yeah.
It's a shame because
Next
this is
time.
such a fun game.
So your character's ability, I can show you, it's easier on other
You were
levels.
telling me I unlocked the spear. Did I unlock on the character I was playing or on every single one of them?
Every character has a spear, so you might have it right now. Go ahead and slash, see what you have. Oh, okay. So what you do is in the character select, after you select your character, um, just press Y and they'll pop out, and you can pick which one you want.
Oh, yeah, okay. So
So
this
that's what
and
that is. Yeah, and you
this.
can pick sword or spear.
It has a different momentum, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It kind of makes you lunge forward when
Yeah.
you use it.
It's like a Mjolnir, but without throwing it. You're like,
So your
ah!
character, this level's so this is kind of your character's home stage. So you can slide to get more bullets. So if you kind of press down and over, you'll start sliding. And then when you see that flash, that means you got another bullet. So your character only starts with one bullet, but you can actually get as many as you want. There's no cap. You can just keep grinding for bullets. The downside is the more bullets you have, the slower you walk. So you'll see
Yeah,
that he
yeah.
walks really slow. But the idea is there is that Helmsley's meant to be airborne, so he has tons of fling when you sword jump. It works. It's really strong. So the idea is you just want to constantly be in the air, or if you're on the ground, you're grinding, and you can grind down the walls like this to get bullets too.
Oh,
Um, and then he
is
can also stomp on bullets
is the
to
attack cooldown equal to every single character, or are the characters
sword
with the?
cooldown is the same on everyone. Otomo's is slightly faster. Everyone else has the exact same cooldown on the sword.
Let me try my. Oh, not. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I haven't tried this. Yeah, the dash attack.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so he can also. So the idea is that since he's airborne, the idea is that people will often be shooting up at him like that. So one of the other things he can do is when you're in the air, if you press jump again, he has a stomp, and he can stomp bullets back down without using a sword. He can just jump off them.
Like this, it
Yep,
deflects.
yep, just like that. So if you like are up here, I can show you. I can shoot a bullet up at you. Okay, ready, and then you'll just have to jump in the air and then jump on the bullet. Here it comes. Oh,
Bad
yeah,
timing.
it's a little tricky. You gotta get used to the timing, but I
Yeah, yeah,
definitely
yeah.
think he's more of an expert character. Him and Slug are kind of our expert characters. Whoops, sorry.
Did you think, or do you expect the players to dive like? I'm fortunate because I have one of the developers telling me this stuff.
Hmm.
Do
Yeah.
you expect for people to discover these little aspects and
So yeah, we have one of the next updates. We'll have the move character, like the character move sets in the game. Right now, we have a manual. So in Steam, you can add like additional things to the game. There's a PDF manual that lists all this stuff, and also on our website, if you go to samuraigun2.com, it has all the character moves. Is that weird thing with early access is there's just so much we want to do,
yeah?
and every little thing takes up time. Even adding a move set into the game to do it right, it's a couple days of work. And these updates, we're trying to do them monthly or at least once every 2 months, and it's just constantly cramming as much as you can in.
If you
And
guys
trying to
want,
figure out what's the most important, what's going to add the most value to the game.
yeah.
But it will be in the game eventually. We want it to be in there sooner rather than later, but not in yet.
I don't know what I did, but it looked like a different kind of dash. Let me check the animation. Um, because I dashed while. Oh yeah. I
And
was sliding and then I
then you dash at the same time.
yeah. Did you have you been present with Samurai Gun 2 with two other events? I can't recall if I knew that Samurai Gun 2 existed in was it in an E3 showcase? Because I was telling before we started recording, I told you I bought the first one, and I until recently
Mm.
I didn't know the sequel existed. But I
Yeah,
can't recall.
Nintendo announced it a couple years ago. So when we were first doing this game, it was not nearly as ambitious. So we were planning on the development being really short. And at that point, Nintendo released the game. And if you watch that old trailer, it looks completely different. It looks pretty much like the first game,
Okay,
with a few improvements. But then as we were developing it, we just saw an opportunity to really make this game way better. I mean, it's why we joke around that this is Samurai Gun 3, because we kind of made this game twice before it came out. There was something that we thought was going to be Samurai Gun 2, and then it didn't have characters with unique move sets. It didn't have new character artwork. Um, it didn't have the adventure mode. It was so much smaller, and then we just decided, with COVID happening, we weren't working in the studio together, and it was pretty difficult. And Bo just kind of went wild during lockdown and made most of the adventure mode. And it was like, okay, let's just put all of the love in this game that we can. Let's take the time. Let's add everything. And then it was like, well, let's launch an early access because we want this. We need more time to make this game that we want it to be, the game we want it to be. And but we don't want to wait for people to play this game because we think it's really fun right now. So this is where we are. I mean, the game is not even halfway done. But we think it's really fun. Our community really likes it. So it's just
Why
staying
don't
on that path, keep delivering updates
Why
until
don't
the
you
game
go
is finished.
full Leisure Suit Larry and call this Samurai Gun 3, and then it
Yeah,
becomes a urban legend? Like, so where's
yeah,
Samurai Gun 2? Well, it
yeah,
was
exactly.
we missed the Unity. This is Unity.
This is in Game Maker.
Okay, this is we lost the Game Maker project now, so now we'll only have Samurai Gun 3. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So you were saying Nintendo released the trailer. What was the platform at the time it was showcased? It was Switch
It
already?
was
Or
it
was it
was
Wii U?
showed at a yeah, it was announcing that the game would come to Switch first. Uh, and we're planning on doing Steam and Switch. But now, I mean, the reality is that Steam lets us release our game before it's done. So 1.0 will be Switch first. We'll Switch and PC. But
It will be
yeah, it's just
simultaneous.
that. Yeah, I mean, for 1.0, we're planning on 1.0 hitting everywhere simultaneously. But the fact that Steam allows us to, let people into our game before it's done and, get feedback, and, people are bug testing with us and sharing their ideas about characters, showing, things that they think are unbalanced. Um, yeah, it's just too good to pass up, letting people kind of in the door. Have you seen this? I don't know if you've tried this. So if you pick Pops or if you pick Anna, and then you go into the Spelunky level, the level's procedurally generated, just like Spelunky.
Mm-hmm.
And whoops, sorry, go to level select. And it also is destructible.
Oh.
So if we use there's
What?
traps,
Ah, yeah.
traps like in Spelunky, I can drop a bomb here. Whoops, and it will destroy the ground. So just kind of like in Spelunky, you can kind of dig around with your bombs.
Oh, nice.
And so your character can also, since he has explosive bullets, his bullets will
Yeah.
blow up the walls too.
Nice.
And one of the fun things is your character, any of the characters with bullets, you can reload the traps with your bullets. You can shoot a bullet into the trap, and then if someone walks by, it will fire when they kind of get in the
So
range.
it's that kind of complexity the game has that it's really really surprising for someone. There is some kind of prejudice in a percentage of players that look at pixel art games and they immediately think
Yeah,
it's a
yeah, for
basic
sure.
game. Uh, and when you check how deep Samurai Gun 2 goes, not only in terms of mechanics of the characters, but all these small ambitious things you've been doing with the level design, yeah, it's really great.
Ah, thank you. That's something we definitely are trying to do. Like lots of love. Um, so we blew it up, so now we can wrap from top to bottom.
Are you thinking of adding, since you're looking at it also to the party game consumer, are you thinking about different modes?
Yeah, so that's something we want to do. It's lower on the list because the idea is just to get all the stuff, all the characters in. I think characters are our absolute top priority. And then, but I mean, even right now, I don't know if we can go to it. We have so kills mode and lives mode. Kills mode is just whoever gets 10 kills win. Lives mode, you have 10 lives. Roulette is basically random selection. So when the match is over, also family friendly. Fun mode gets rid of all the blood
Yeah.
and
Nice.
decapitations. So uh, when we kill each other, it's not bloody; it just kind of has like a splash effect, and the bodies don't stay on the screen either.
Yeah, okay. You just, I think I'm watching The Matrix now that I know how to sword jump.
Yeah.
Ah, almost. So good.
um, Yeah, the fun mode was something that I was playing with some of my family, my nephews, and it was early on in development, and we just saw how bloody the game was with decapitated heads flying everywhere and bodies sticking around, all these corpses, and we are just like, you know what?
Yeah,
Let's make a
this
mode that is everyone's okay with their 4-year-old playing.
like, hey uncle, what's what's the his head doing?
Yeah, exactly.
I just noticed we are running out of time, and
Oh yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah.
it's
Thank you so much for having us on,
it's
or having me
it's
on in our game.
this thing of I think it will become my mantra from IndieX 2021 is time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, I really appreciate the time to talk about our game, and we really appreciate making it through to be one of the selections for NDX.
Yeah, well deserved because the game is gorgeous. It plays amazing, and I feel fortunate for these opportunities we have during the streams to speak a bit and with the developers and actually know some things that you don't actually dive as deep as you would like when you get 250 300 games to evaluate.
Yeah,
And well, most of these games I actually save them to play after the event when things aren't chaotic as they are now. But it's I'm really fortunate to be able to know about this peculiar things, this deepness that the game have. And yeah, Shiru is here saying he appreciated your game, and yeah, it's a great game. I hope it can dive. You were talking about saturation. It's also happening on Switch, as we know. It's not only a PC thing, but you were saying you have a good community on Discord. It's an active community at this moment.
yeah, yeah. We have a bunch of people in our Discord. I just dropped the link in chat. Um,
Thank you.
they're definitely the way to go. And also, the people on our Discord are keeping lists of like hidden secrets in the game, advanced strategies. There's lots of really cool stuff you can do. I mean, some of it, a lot of it is just a result of the systems we have in play. So we weren't even, they're teaching us too of like, oh, did you know you can do this? Did you know you can do this? So it's definitely the place to go also for kind of learning how to be better at the game.
Well, everyone who is watching this who didn't know Samurai Gun 2, who is curious about it, you can go and buy it and actively help the developers in this early access moment with your feedback, I believe, and be part of this the growth of this great game. Please go to Steam now and wishlist it or buy it even. I think the developers would appreciate it. I would like to thank Adam. Adam, it was great conversation. We can only congratulate you and your team on the development of
Ah,
Samurai
thank you
Gun
so
2.
much.
It's
Thank you for the support.
we can see it's a work of passion, and you all of you have lots of love inserted on your game. So yeah, I think Trilobot is also reminding us to go to Samurai Guns to Discord, which Adam just gave us the link. They have
Hmm.
casual tournaments also, not only to be you don't not only getting massacred by pros, but also getting some casual fun because the game is really fun for everyone. Then again, Adam, thanks a lot for you and your team. We wish you
Thank
the
you.
best. Hope Samurai Gun 2 is as successful as it deserves to be. And
Ah, thank you.
from our side, we're going to stop for an hour. We're going to return and 7 p.m. with Unmetal. So please, everyone, stay tuned. Rest a bit. Go wishlist, buy, or actually, or buy Samurai Gun 2 while you wait. And see you in an hour. Adam, thank you.
All right, thank you. We'll see you.